Good morning and a happy Friday, man. You know the vibes. If you woke up this morning, you already won. I hope you do something today, right now, that your future self can thank you for. I am Earl of Pearl. That's Cecil Shorts. This is the Ultimate 216 Show. Good morning, brother. How are you?
I'm well, man. How you doing, big dog?
I'm great, great. Can't complain. It's a good time to let the folks know that this episode of the Ultimate 216 Show is brought to you by Epicor. From small businesses with big dreams to growing enterprises with global vision, Epicor will equip you with the right tools to move forward. Discover your success at www.easierwithepicor.com. Yo, this is the day that a lot of us have been waiting for, man. Can't wait to get into all of that. First and foremost, man, we want to thank everybody who tuned in yesterday for our impromptu Ultimate 216 show when we touched on Shedeur Sanders and the things that he did giving back in the Garden Valley community. Then he was at KFC yesterday, giving away some food. I see some videos of social media of him interacting with some fans. And today, him and the rest of the rookie class, they get to work. We'll talk about the rookie class. We'll talk about who's under the most pressure to perform. We'll get Cecil's story about his first rookie training camp. We'll talk about stadium demolition and lakefront renovation plans. And also, man, we here with another top five. But before we get into our first topic, we got to let you know that is brought to you by FanDuel. Summer sports is in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You already are following in on the action, so why not make it a little bit more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started. So, brother, it's been a while since, you went down this road, but take us back down memory lane. What was the night before, like, when rookies was getting ready to report to Jacksonville Jaguars training camp? And then what was that first day like for you?
Man, it was crazy because that was the lockout year. So I was literally working on roofs and working out in the Lions, Ohio at school. My girlfriend at the time, who's my wife now, she was pregnant with my oldest. So literally just working, waiting for the call because we had no idea what was going on. There was no rookie minicamp. There was no anything in Jacksonville. So we got the call the day before. Hey, we're gonna fly y'all in. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh snap! I was working a football camp at Mount Union. I'm like, oh snap. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, on the flight, give them information. Next day, take off to Jacksonville, and it was a surreal feeling. It was a nervous feeling, it was an exciting feeling. And then I walk in the locker room. Next thing you know, I see Maurice Jones-Drew, and I see David Garrard, and I see, we drafted Blaine Gabbert. I already knew Blaine. We met Blaine before during the draft process, but all these guys you watch on TV, Rasheed Mathis and Mercedes Lewis, and Mercedes is still playing, by the way, like 23rd year at tight end. You see these guys you watch on TV, it's like, yo. And that was my first time, like, I mean, obviously, but it's rookie, but you're in the locker room, you're looking around, you see the vets, it's like, this is crazy. And then when you step on the field, it's go time. It's high intensity. You feel the tension from everybody because you want to prove yourself, especially with no mini camp beforehand. But it's fun, man. The fans are so into it. They are loving what's going on. They're excited you out there. It's a thrill for a rookie to finally live your dream because it's like you go through the whole process of proving yourself. You play your senior season, you prove yourself at different bowl games, combines, meetings, all these things. Now, boom, you're there. I get to play football, and you don't relax, but it's like, all right, now I can do what I came here to do. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a real good feeling.
Sweet, sweet. So as we talked about, we got some rookies that's about to get started today. Veterans will be there Tuesday on the 22nd as we get the football season underway. Mason Graham, Carson Schlesinger, Quinshawn Junkins. Of course, he has the legal issues. We don't know when he will arrive, and he has still not signed his rookie contract. We'll talk about that. Dylan Sampson, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. That is the Cleveland Browns rookie class. bro, as we go through this list and we just talk about players who are under the most pressure to perform this season, at the top of that list for you would be who?
I think it's two guys,
Okay.
and I think it's both quarterbacks because I think the first thing that comes to mind, like, all right, Mason Graham, fifth overall pick, but the pressure's not on him. As a defensive tackle playing next to Miles Garrett, like it will be kind of he will be out of the spotlight unless he plays terrible, right? He'll be out of the spotlight unless he plays terrible, or if he plays exceptional, he'll be in the spotlight, right? But if he just does his job well, we won't be talking about him a ton compared to Dylan Gabriel, who was drafted in the third round, and Shedeur Sanders, who was drafted in the fifth round. And Shedeur, as you put in the notes, his following, and he's doing one heck of a job of building a relationship with the city of Cleveland. Like that's not rare. That's rare for a rookie to go out of his way to do everything he's doing for the city. That's more of a veteran type thing. That's more of a star player type thing where a guy's been there a long time, right? A guy that's been in the city, they love him, they fall in love with him, a superstar, he proved himself on the field already. He's doing this before he even proved himself, which is amazing. So for him to do that's a big deal. But I think the topic of conversation for the rookies is going to be who can win the quarterback job. Can Dylan do it? Can Shedeur do it? Because we talk about it all the time, every week almost, that in 2026 is supposed to be this great quarterback class. So they have to go out there and prove themselves that they're worth to be on the roster and possibly be a starter for years to come. So I think the most pressure is on them. I think all eyes will be on them every single snap, whether it is a pre-snap, like before practice even starts, whether it's they were the ones, twos, threes, preseason. We're going to be analyzing. Earl, we were already analyzing 7-on-7s,
Yep.
giving stats week to week
Yep.
on
Every week.
the sports show.
Every
It was
single week.
stats every week. So training camp come, I believe it's going to be that plus more. When preseason come, games, that plus more. Joint practices, that plus more. So I think the pressure's on him. My out on them two alone. My outskirts, I think Dylan Sampson is somebody to watch. I wouldn't say it's pressure, but I think with the legal situation, we don't know what the NFL is going to do. We don't know what's going on with all that, right? I think Dylan has an opportunity to really step up. He was so productive at Tennessee, especially his last year there this past season. He's a guy that is kind of getting overlooked because how good Quinshawn can be. But he is a guy that can hit the hole from the inside. We all know he's super fast. He can catch outside. He can catch the ball well. And they've been using him at receiver at times when it comes to OTAs and minicamps. So he's dynamic there. But he can hit the ball in between the tackles. He can make guys miss. He's shifty. He's a great change of pace guy for Quinshawn. So I understand why they did that. Not that pressure's on him, but they may expect more from him if Junkins cannot play early on, right? So now it may be him and it may be Ford. But also it brings me back to your boy Nick Chubb. If you were to sign Nick Chubb right now, we wouldn't feel no type of way. We wouldn't feel as maybe worried. I'll say myself, I wouldn't feel as worried as I would without Nick Chubb. Because say
Let me ask
Junkins,
you a question.
go ahead.
Let me ask you a question real quick on that front. How has he looked, you know, early on in Houston as the Texans get ready to kick off training camp? What's been the buzz about Nick Chubb down there?
People are excited. Like people are excited. And one thing people keep saying is it takes 2 years from your drastic knee injury to get back in the swing of things. And this is year two for him, right? This is year two for him. So people love the idea of the name, but in minicamp, he looks good. He looks explosive. He looks fast. He looks powerful. He looks like the old Nick Chubb, right? Now it's about seeing what he can do with the pads on. Is he going to be confident getting hit, stuff like that with a broken foot? Has he lost a step? Has he not? I think honestly, it does take 2 years. I think from an analyst standpoint, I love the pick because it's low risk, high reward. Like you got him for a low, but if he messes around and produces at a high level with Joe Mixon, oh my gosh, you're sitting pretty in the AFC off those two guys. So he's looking good. It's a matter of can he continue that and stay healthy. We all know what Nick Chubb can do, right? So that's a good question.
You know, you talked about Dylan Sampson, and Bull kind of looked at me like I was crazy when I said this, but when they drafted him and paired him with Quinshawn Junkins, not that they've had the production because they've never even really stepped on the field yet in a real game, but I kind of compared it to Detroit and
Mm.
what they have with Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. And I know when I start comparing Dylan Sampson to Jahmyr Gibbs, people think I'm crazy, but I think that's the perfect player comp. They're around the same height. They're both fast as hell. They both can run inside, outside the tackles. They both can catch the ball out the backfield. They are that third down specialist, that weapon that you use to where you look at Quinshine, built a little bit more like Kareem Hunt, more of a physical, bruising type running back, a guy that can pick up some blocks. And to me, that's how David Montgomery is built. And so I can definitely see the vision of that Cleveland Browns backfield. And it's unfortunate that Quinshon Junkins has found himself in this situation, has cost himself some money. He's cost himself some valuable reps on the practice field. And we don't know when he will show up and be available, for the Cleveland Browns when as training camp gets on the way. To that point of him, when you look at him being a rookie, not under contract, and then whenever he gets there, he's going to try to be getting up the pace and getting himself into shape. How tough is that uphill climb for him going to be because of this situation?
I think mentally it's going to be tougher than anything, because mentally he doesn't know what's coming. He doesn't know what the NFL is going to do. He doesn't know what the outcome of his situation is. He and the young lady only know what really happened, right? So I think mentally, can he just focus on ball? Can he just be himself? Can he just go out there and play and be the guy we're all excited for him to be? That would be the task that's the toughest for him. Can he handle all this mentally? And I'm not sure. He's 21 years old, and he is didn't sign a contract. That's going to bother him. I know he was one of the guys that wanted I'm assuming one of the guaranteed contracts, similar to Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State that got drafted by the Texans. And I think that's hurting him right now. If he didn't get in trouble, okay, boom. I think something gets done pretty soon. He'll be at camp. But the fact that he got in trouble, he's probably not going to get what he wanted to get, and the leverage goes from him to back to the Cleveland Browns. So I think mentally it's like a lot going on. He has to stay sharp. He has to understand, okay, this is not the end of my career. It's still the beginning of it, right? And I still can bounce back from whatever is found out and whatever is true, whatever is not true. He still can bounce back and go out there and win these fans over and play good football, excuse me. But mentally, he's going to have to be strong, man. And that's tough, as you know, as a grown man our age, but especially for a 21-year-old in the spotlight. And again, only him and that girl know what really happened and what went down.
Yeah.
We all got opinions and facts, and police reports say this and that, but we don't know till all the facts get out there. But that's going to be the hardest part for him. Yes, he got to stay in shape. He'll eventually get caught up when that time comes. It's just mentally, especially if he's out for a long time, a month or two, or whatever the case may be. That's gonna be difficult.
I know a photo surfaced of him late last night in the green, jumpsuit and handcuffs standing before the judge. And regardless of how that situation plays out, we all know like, the NFL governed by their own rules. And just the optics alone, he's already probably cost himself a 60-game suspension. And so, it's gonna be an uphill climb. But me and you both believe in redemption and being able to redefine yourself. And truthfully, man, these are opportunities to grow. I just pray for them both in this situation. They are young adults, and we all know, like, being able to regulate your emotions at that age is tough. Because if we still struggle with that and we late 30s, imagine what they going through. Like that's just on a human side of things. For me, when I look at the player that's under the most pressure to perform, for me, is Dylan Gabriel for a few reasons, and I'll just lay them out for you. Dylan Gabriel, by most accounts, when you collected all of the prospects and you put them in one group, he was ranked as low as 148 out of 150 possible prospects. When you looked at the quarterback prospects, anybody that was an NFL analyst or a draft expert, they had him ranked about ninth or 10th of all the quarterbacks that was eligible. Yet the Cleveland Browns are operating like they found a needle in a haystack. We heard that this is supposed to be Kevin Stefanski guy. We've all heard that Andrew Berry took them to dinner and they spent all this time with Dylan Gabriel. They did their due diligence. Coming into this season, Cecil, we talked about how it was important that Kevin Stefanski had his pick of the litter when it came to quarterbacks that was available to him. So anybody that's close to the team has told us that Dylan Gabriel was identified as Kevin Stefanski's guy. Now, Dylan Gabriel's about 5'9", 5'10" on a good day. He's a left-handed quarterback. We all know the stats and the analytics don't go in his favor. For you to be a left-handed quarterback in the NFL and to be short and think you're going to have success, that's banking on a crazy hope. For you to be a left-handed quarterback, period, in the NFL, to have some success and you ain't uber athletic like Michael Vick, again, you banking on some crazy hope. And so to me, because so much is on the line when it comes to the reputation of Andrew Berry, when it comes to the job security of him and Kevin Stefanski, and when it comes to their credibility and being able to select and develop players, if this is the guy that you say is your quarterback, and we all believe that that quarterback is Shedeur Sanders, then damn it, he better hit the ground running. And every opportunity that he get, he better make sure he's cashing in on it. Because to us, from afar, it's looking like a wasted third round pick. I ain't saying that's the case, but that's what it's looking like.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. He was not, and it's not a knock on him. He earned the right to be drafted. He earned the right to be in the NFL. It's not a knock on him. But when every expert says he's the ninth or 10th best quarterback, and he's somewhere between a third day draft pick. When you look at just Oregon quarterbacks in general and what their success is like in the league, or like you mentioned, the shorter Oregon type, the shorter left-handed type quarterbacks, they're not too. They don't pan out to be superstars in the NFL. Can he play in the league? He probably can. He can play, bounce around, be a backup. Not doubting that part. But the Browns are looking for a franchise changer. They're looking for somebody that can be Cam Newton say what was it? Not a game manager, but a game breaker, right? Somebody that can really take over a game and change the entire franchise, put it on his back, and lead us to the Super Bowl. It's hard for me to say you're gonna get that from Dylan Gabriel. From I just don't see it, right? So it's gonna be interesting. I totally get where you're coming from. It's gonna be interesting to watch him because all eyes are right. Like if he doesn't do something right, if he doesn't show out, and he's a third round pick, we're gonna be like, why did you draft him in the third round? And again, this goes back to Andrew Berry. It goes back to him and who he drafts, and he has not drafted extremely well, I would say, in previous years. So definitely, eyes are gonna be on Dylan Gabriel.
Absolutely, man. Y'all let us know what y'all think in the chat. Which Cleveland Browns rookie is under the most pressure as we kick off the Cleveland Browns 2025 training camp? Again, rookies report today, veterans report on Tuesday. Coming up next, man, we talk about stadium demolition and the lakefront. But first, we got to hear from our good people at Monarch Money. Cecil, tell us about it.
Ever check your bank account and wonder where'd all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you just stop just managing your money and start building wealth. Surprising insights. When I start using Monarch, I realized just how much I still was spending on food delivery. Now budget smarter and save more. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use your Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNFL for half off your first year.
There it is. There it is. So it's official, all but official. Jimmy got, the 600 million that he needed from the state of Ohio. The land has been purchased. The dome is pretty much all systems go here, right?
Earl, you don't seem excited.
No, I'm very excited about it. To be totally honest with you, I'm very excited about it. I think for a few reasons. I think that one, I feel like in our city, the generation before us, they want change, but they're afraid to step into anything that looks like real change, right? I think in their minds and in their hearts, they mean well about pushing the city forward and trying to see things different. But a lot of people are traditionalists. and they don't like to see things all of a sudden change that's always been the same. And I think that the city officials were banking too much on Jimmy Haslam and the Cleveland Browns having that stadium there to help redevelop the lakefront without having a real plan in place. And so the good thing that came out of this to me is I feel like Jimmy Haslam forced the powers that be hand to actually come up with a real plan, actually put some damn effort into it, be good stewardess, be creative, something that's cool, come up with something that's cool and exciting for the city of Cleveland. Now, a couple weeks ago, Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb, had made the statement that he felt like that the Haslams should help pay for the addition of the current Huntington Bank Field after the team departs in 2029. He framed it as good corporate citizenship after decades of public investment. Now, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, the Browns responded that they're willing to assist with the demolition. I'm sorry, and any work to develop the lakefront once they are gone, but say they are awaiting collaboration from the city. On the 15th, Cleveland issued a RFQ seeking developers for up to 50 acres of lakefront land from West 3rd to East 9th, including the stadium footprint, explicitly stating that the site will be without Brown Stadium. This goes on to say that this is part of the Bibb's shore to core to shore vision. The city of Cleveland was awarded $150 million for a pedestrian land bridge linking downtown to Lake Erie. So I guess my question to you, well, first, and before I even get to the question, what's your thoughts on, the Haslams being willing to pay for the demolition of Huntington Bank Field that's owned by the city of Cleveland? Is still being willing to participate in a renovation of the lakefront once they leave downtown Cleveland?
I think it's a smart business move. I think what the Haslams being, well, first of all, I think Bibbs is very smart for asking on the business side. And I think, secondly, on the business side, the Haslam are smart for being willing to help develop and tear down and do what they got to do for that area. I think that kind of heals wounds. It
Mm-hmm.
kind of helps bring a close to that situation and also brings excitement to what's going on. I think when you look at, talk about the older generation or just people in general that did not were in favor of buying the new stadium and building that land somewhere outside of the city limits. I think this can be a way to get back in good graces and then really start promoting the new Huntington Bank and what it will look like and all the assets that come with it, right? So I think it's smart on both parts. I think it's very smart on his part. If he would have said no, it could have been an uproar. Now you got people mad again and going here and there, and just things could just go awry. Where you just agree to it, say, "Hey, we'll fix. We're willing to do whatever you want to do." I think it's a smart business move by both sides of mayor and the Haslams.
I think that as we move forward, in this process, I think people, residents of the city of Cleveland, will become more excited. And I think people who are pissed off about the stadium leaving, two things that happen. One, if we start fielding a winning team, they won't give a damn. And
Right.
two, as they start seeing the city of Cleveland develop, they are also not give a damn. But that's a prime piece of real estate, to be totally honest with you. And now that Mayor Bibb seems to be sunk in, okay, the Browns is moving. It is what it is. Let me move forward. And he's realizing, like, yo, that stadium sits on a prime piece of real estate that we can put entertainment venues down there, some
Mm-hmm.
hotels, maybe some
Mm-hmm.
housing. You can do a lot. You talking about stretching something from East Ninth to West Third, and you got a land bridge that's connecting everything. A lot of people that travel a lot always say, well, if you look at what Chicago has done with their lakefront, this is something that the city of Cleveland can mirror. I hear, Pittsburgh, for example, how they have everything set up, and things like that. Like it's beautiful. And so to me, I'm excited because now the city is being forced to be creative. And Mayor Bibbs, he did issue it. He said, I'm seeking developers with visions of a renovated lakefront on downtown Cleveland. And I think that after years and years of you and I growing up in this city and hearing all these different, ideas, it finally seems like something is about to be done. The only kind of thing that makes me shake my head is you didn't have to have your hand forced for this to
Mm-hmm.
be a thing, right? And I think that, I mean, you're renovating Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you're renovating the Science Center. Let the stadium go. You got two monuments right there.
Hmm.
Build on where you at, man, and just like have more of a tourist attraction, which is what you really wanted to do anyway.
Yeah, for sure. You can be more unique. I think it's a great opportunity, like you said. I think it said 50 acres is
Yeah.
what that's over. It's a great opportunity to find something creative and unique to the city of Cleveland to attract more people to come when they do come, right? When they come for sporting events or museums, whatever the case may be. Now you got an attraction, something family friendly, something even, it's so big. You can have family friendly, you can have kids, you can have adults, you can have nightlife, you can do so much with it. You can have residency, you can do so much with that area. I'm excited to see what they're doing. I love Mayor Bibb's vision and what he wants to do. I totally agree with you. Shouldn't have been a forced hand, but now we're gonna make the most of what we can, right? So I'm excited to see what comes from it.
Yeah, because like, when he was elected mayor, so like I had some skepticism and some optimism. Skeptical because he's our age,
Mhm.
right? And you're talking about being in charge of a major city, and you don't know really how many different experiences that you have to be running the city. But then on the other side of that coin, he's our age. Our generation is the last generation to play outside, the first generation to touch social media. You feel me?
Yeah,
We are that
yeah,
bridge generation. And
yes,
so, and then
that's real.
he's from the inner city, just like you and I. Like he grew up like in Moore's Black projects,
Mm.
right? And so understanding that it's like, okay, this man probably has a multitude of ideas flowing through his head. He probably is like innovative as hell. Let's see what he can come up with to help like the city that he grew up in, help make it better. It's just that people got to let go of what's always was. You can't keep what's was and still trying to move us into the future at the same time. I'm excited to see how it's going to look in a few years. I'm really excited for the Dome Stadium. I never really like, even though it would have been cool if they could have found a piece of real estate downtown and keep it downtown.
Mm.
They didn't. It is what it is. I can remember driving out to Brook Park to go to Super K with my parents every week to go to the grocery store. So it ain't that long of a damn drive, man. I'm with it. What do you think? Last thing before we move on, what do you think when it comes to the entire site and the mixed use of it? What do you think should be the main priority that drives that redevelopment downtown?
Oh wow, what should drive it? I think ideally the Cleveland. I think in a perfect world, what would drive people to that area would be the Browns' success. It drives people to that area, right? But I
Mhm.
think in that area, you need to have some top tier, which it will be, I'm assuming, top tier, whether it's restaurants or attractions, and continue to build up that whole entire area. I think that's what's going to drive it, though. But if you have a successful football team, like I'm thinking about, even if it's not successful, look at the Dallas Cowboys, for example. Their team drives people to the area that the stadium is in. Now, around the area is where the beautiful malls and shops and everything is. That's where they're making money. So it makes money for the city and the team all together, all in one place. So I think if you have the Browns that's winning, that drives them there. And then from there, whatever's around it benefits.
There it is, man. Y'all let us know what ideas you have for lakefront renovations. If you was in charge of making those decisions, what would you do with the Cleveland Browns, with the city of Cleveland's lakefront once the Cleveland Browns leave from downtown Cleveland? Don't forget, man, like, subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Make sure you catch the flagship show Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. On Fridays, we rock 11 a.m. to 12:30, 12:30 to 1 p.m. on Channel 3 WKYC. Make sure that you like and check out all the spinoff shows as well. The Ultimate 216 Show, Ultimate Guardians, Ultimate Browns, and of course the Ultimate Cleveland Cavaliers Show. One more topic before we get out of here. Something that we debuted last week, and me and you, we talked about our top 5 favorite athletes that we like watching growing up in the city of Cleveland. I thought that was fun. We are back again with another top 5 in the land. Me and you both from the east side of Cleveland, inner city cats, man. We love some good food. And today we're gonna talk about our top 5 restaurants that we enjoy eating at. I'm gonna go first this time. You went first last week. Here's
Bet.
my list. Here's my list for you to see. This is my top 5. Number one for me, I got Calypso's. Number
Mm.
two, I got Open Pit. Number 3, I got Kim's Wings. Number 4, I got Angela Mia's Pizza. Number 5, I got Omar Seafood. Let me talk about the list a little bit, right? So Omar's, to me, is the best place to go, close to, the proximity of where we grew up at, to get some seafood. Angela Mia's, hands down, best pizza in the city of Cleveland. It's been that way for a long ass time. What I had Kim's third. Listen, me, Kim's sauce, top tier. Lately it's been hit and miss on the food, but even like I can go back to when me and you was in high school, when we used to bounce out that side though, go get something to eat down the street, come
Looking
back.
out for truancy.
Yeah, those snack packs, boy. Those snack packs was everything, man. They was the truth. Open pit number 2. When they answer the phone and take your order, the food is amazing. It's unfortunate though to see that establishment kind of go downhill. I rode past last week. It was a Friday at 7:00 and it was closed. Yeah. That's something that, we ain't used to. And then, of course, to me, number 1 on my list, right off there of 140. If I grew up on 148th and Lakeshore, Calypso's, man, 761-1509. Number been the same my whole life. The only establishment that my whole life, all they take is cash. They don't play with no cards. But you go in there, you get you a steak Philly, you get you 12 clubs, extra butter, extra seasoning, and you in there like swimwear every day of the week, man.
Man, I can't complain with that list. I think we got 3 or 4 similars on there, but man, Cleveland food is top tier. I think people don't think about food when they come to Cleveland, but it's certain food. It's Polish boys. It's certain the way we cook barbecue. The way you talk about Kim's sauce. There's certain things that stand out about Cleveland that if you taste it, you like, okay, this is a food city. Like don't sleep on us when it comes to food.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. Like lately, in the last couple of years, man, I've been seeing Cleveland ranked higher and higher on those lists as far as top places to go get some grub. But let's check out your list, man, before we get up out of here. Explain it to the people.
All right, so B&M's Barbecue, absolutely love it. It says best in town, and it is one of the best in town. You talked about Angela Mia Pizza, absolutely love it. Hands down the best pizza in Cleveland. I just love it. The whole family loves it. We used to go there, grab pizza, and then get out quickly because it's kind of a dangerous area. We didn't want to hang out too long. Then Hot Sauce Williams. It is what it is, right?
Oh, that's facts.
Hot Sauce Williams was the classic. Loved their sauce. Open pit. So I grew up on 118th in St. Clair. So open pit was in walking distance. We used to go there and get a Polish boy with the fries on top, the coleslaw, the sauce. Oh man, brings back so many good memories. And then Kim's Wings is number 1. I used to always go snack pack or a chicken tender dinner with extra sauce on the side. And Earl, trying to sneak out that side door at Collinwood, trying to avoid truancy. If somebody go on giving them a little cash, like, hey, go ahead and grab me this, grab me that. It just brings back so many good memories, man. And it's amazing, man.
So for those who not familiar with the area where me and Cecil went to high school at, right? We had a gas station / convenience store right there at the side door. Next door to that was McDonald's. About 2-3, little sections down was China Mountain and Kim's. So the enticement level was always there, and you knew the risk you was taking. But if we had that many food options, we was never in nobody's lunchroom eating food. We always sneaking out the side door, going to the store to get some snacks. We used to have people at the school selling snacks. Where you think they used to go get them from? You know what I mean? This is like when McDonald's had a real dollar menu. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like the only thing is after school, that's kind of like where all the fights broke out. So you had to hurry up and get up out of there as well. So it was good old days, man. If I could go back and do it all over again, I probably would. This has been another episode of the Ultimate 216 Show with Cecil Shorts and yours truly, Earl and Pearl. Remember, man, be great, spread love. Being great come with a price. Spread love is priceless. We'll see y'all Monday. Peace.